Let me start off by telling a very short story. A few years ago, I was walking around in my office. It was springtime, somewhere between April and May, when the new flowers and everything is nice. And I noticed that one of my friends, who is also from Pakistan, was standing next to the window and was just looking outside on the horizon with a big smile on his face. And I got curious, so I went to him and I asked him, "Hey Sami, what are you looking at?" And he turned around and said, "Oh Stan, it's so beautiful outside. Have you seen? It's spring, there are people around, there is sunshine, there is greenery, there is flower, there is even a river. Can you imagine how lucky we are to live in Wroclove? How amazing and beautiful our lives are?" And I thought, what a crazy guy. I just smiled at him, yeah, you're right. Then nodded along and then moved on with my work. When I was thinking about what to speak of for this project, I asked myself one simple question. What inspires me? And after thinking about it for a while, I came to the conclusion that it's the people. People that are around me, they inspire me, not by doing something extraordinary, but by simply living their lives day to day as best as they can. And by doing that, they have inspired me to live a more fulfilling life and to become a better version of myself from every day to another. And just to tell you how, I will tell you about a couple of such kind of people. Back in 1960s, in a small Pakistani village, there was a 10-year-old boy. Both his parents could not read and write and couldn't even write their names on a paper. They did not know how. But still he went to school. He used to go to school, which was a couple of kilometers away, every day, even in the winter when the temperatures were below zero and none of his classmates were coming to school. When he grew a bit older, he was going to high school by biking for 1 hour every single day. And after a lot of hard work, a strong will, and a sheer determination, he became a very successful doctor, one of the only one at that time in that village. That boy is my father. Over the years, I have observed how much people genuinely respect him. And I think it's mostly because how he treats everyone with equal respect, regardless of their social background, their social order, which is not so common, especially with doctors in our country. His life story and his attitude to other people has really inspired me to believe in myself that if I have a purpose and the will and I can do the hard work, then no matter how against the odds are, I can still achieve something. And to have respect as one of my top personal value, which means that I have to respect everyone regardless of their background. It also means, and it also inspires me to look at him and to be someone which is respected by his friends and his peers, to whom they can trust and to whom they can come for help. While talking about friends, I have made many in Pakistan. I have made a lot of them in Poland as well. But one of them stands out. When I came to Poland about 20 days into my stay in Wroclove, I went for a TEDx event. And during the after party, I saw a girl sitting across me. And as we started talking, and as our conversations grew longer from week to week, we became much more closer friends. The more I got to know her, the more I got inspired by her courage, her free spirit, and her devotion to her friends and family. I still remember the time when she told me that she went to Serbia by hitchhiking. And one day during this hitchhiking, she was in a forest and got lost. So when she came out of that forest, she was in a small village with very few houses. And it was already getting dark, and she did not have a place to sleep. Now most people in this situation will freak out. I know I would. I wouldn't know what to do. But she was very calm. She just went to one of the houses, knocked on the door, and asked the family living there if she could spend the night with them. They not only agreed to host her for the night, but also offered her a very nice meal. The next day they took her for a horse ride in their farm, and she had an amazing time to get to know that family, to get to know that country, before she continued with her travels. That one story inspired me so much, because I have always traveled with everything planned until that point. And then I decided, okay, I need to also take some risk and just have no plans and go and travel. And I did that. I did solo trips for 2 weeks without any strict plans, but at least I always had a place to sleep. That I could never do. But I hitchhiked. I hitchhiked in Europe, and I had a lot of fun doing that. But when it comes to her devotion to her friends, I think the perfect example is that every speech that I have given on this stage in our meetings, and I have given a lot of them, she has always helped me by rehearsing it with me on the previous day and giving me really valuable feedback how to improve it. One time, even when she was not in Wroclove, she listened to it on the phone and gave very nice feedback as well. I'm very happy that she's sitting right there in the back today. I know that it's not so easy for her to come to these meetings because they are not at the perfect time and not in the right area of the city, but I'm really happy that she could make it today. And I could say in front of her that that girl has inspired me to live more in the moment, to have more courage, and to really, how she has by her actions has shown me how to be a better friend to my friends. And while I'm talking about supporting each other, during this summer, one of my friends suggested that I should visit the Toastmasters club. And that is how I ended on my very first meeting in this club. And I still remember that. I think we all can agree that the first thing we notice is the fun and nice, relaxed atmosphere that we have in our meetings. But on that day, I noticed something else. I noticed that all the members, they encourage each other to come on stage and to do their best to try something new. I was sitting in the back because it was my very first meeting. And the table topics master came on stage and asked for volunteers. I had no idea what table topics are or how they look like, so I just raised my hand. But fortunately, she didn't see it, and she called someone else. And then I heard 2 or 3 these improvised speeches, and I got scared. I said, I don't want to go on stage anymore because I will embarrass myself. So when she asked for the last volunteer, I did not raise my hand. And I was sitting in the back, but a couple of attentive members who saw me raising the hand encouraged me, go Zan, come on, you can do it, please invite him to the stage. And I went. And I gave my first table topic speech on my very first meeting, and it went really, really well. And that, more than anything else, I think the feeling of getting this encouragement, seeing it happen to all the members that were presenting and coming on stage, was the reason that inspired me to join this club and give the speeches that I have given here. Now, what is common between this club and my awesome friends and my amazing father and countless other people that I have crossed paths with who have inspired me? It's not some extraordinary achievements. It's not some grand gestures that they were making. They were simply living their life as best as they could. What inspired me was not their actions in itself, but the fact that I stopped and I reflected back on them. I thought about them, and then I realized how amazing those actions are, and I should be doing something similar. When you look for inspiration, don't look for something extraordinary or unexpected to happen. Just stop and look around. Look around the people that are already around you, who have their own challenges and how they face them, and from those actions, you can find inspiration. Maybe your next big inspiration will come from the person who is sitting right next to you right now in this meeting. And this is exactly what I did. My friend who was looking outside the window, at first I smiled at him and moved on with my work, but then I stopped. I went back to the window. I actually saw the view that we had that day, and it indeed was really beautiful. And I do not remember now how long we stood there just taking that view in and wasting our time, but what I do remember is that in that moment I felt really inspired by him and his ability to recognize beauty in such ordinary moments as just simply looking outside the office.